Welcome to the Jacob Gunther Elementary School Graduation Ceremony of 2011. Welcome Mr. Perone, Mr. Goldstein, Mrs. Tessa, Ms. Donahue, Mrs. Graber, Ms. Meany, faculty and staff, families, and friends. We would like to thank you all for helping us to achieve our goals and supporting us to become the people we are today.
At Gunther, we learned that it doesn't matter how popular or cool you are. What matters is who you are on the inside. Every year we've had so many enjoyable times, which made our years throughout Gunther very memorable and put smiles on our faces.
From the math to the English language arts to science, we've learned quite a lot. We have also learned how to be a leader and being an upstander against bullies. All of the friends we've made and all of the teachers that helped us along the way strengthened our character and self-confidence.
This year at Jacob Gunther was a great way to start off our lives, but now we can move on to bigger and better opportunities. Gunther School gave us our wins, and now at Grand Avenue we'll be given the chance to fly. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the graduation ceremony of 2011.
Thank you to Kristen Lasker, Gianna Rath, Michael Stutz, and Nicholas Valeriano. Welcome parents, friends, past graduates, faculty, staff, relatives, champions of the class of 2011. I'm very pleased to welcome you as a principal. You know that I'm honored and I feel privileged to be the principal of the students here. I'm exceedingly proud of you. Tonight we have Councilman Hughes here, who also, I think this is his 6th graduation, Councilman, today. And so we're pleased to have him here at Gunther. And at this time, I am honored to offer Councilman Hughes a time to speak to us.
It is a busy day. It's a very exciting day for a lot of students. I have a few more students to congratulate at some other schools this evening, but I wanted to stop by here tonight to just give you some thoughts as you're moving up to Grand Avenue. You remember, sometimes you get a little nervous when you start something new. As a matter of fact, some of you, as the summer goes on, and you start thinking towards September, and you're moving out of this school and you're going to a new school with new teachers, new students, new opportunities, you might start to feel those butterflies. How many of you can remember when you started kindergarten here, maybe your first day or that night before? How many of you remember what that was like? I remember. How many of the parents remember their first day of kindergarten? I remember it, and I'm going to tell you, I remember it because I remember when my mother brought me to my first day of kindergarten, how nervous I was, and I started crying, and I remember hearing the door close, and I think I heard it lock behind me. And it was a very nerve-wracking day, and everything was okay. For those of you that think back to those days, a long time ago, it was okay. You had a great time. As you went from first grade to second grade here and to third grade, you met new teachers, you met new friends, and everything was good. There was nothing to be nervous about. So now you're moving on to another school. And I have to tell you, things are going to be even better there. You're going to take everything that you learned here, all of your interests, and you're going to expand on them as you move over to Grand. So don't worry come September. Think about what Gary just told you. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be nervous about. Things are good. And by the way, it's a reality check. A reality check is, you know, some of you are watching these reality shows, right? You see JWoww and Snooki and the Kardashians and whoever else you're watching on those reality shows. Well, I want to just also tell you that those are not real. Reality is right here. Your mom, your dad, your grandparents, that's reality. They go to work every single day to make sure that your life is the best that it can be. Reality is when you come home and things aren't going the way they should, They will put their arms around you, and they will give you the love, the reality in your life. And the last thing I want to tell you about going on to Grand Avenue is the fact that alone. Now, of course, you're sitting there and you're saying, Gary, of course we're not going alone. We're going talking about going alone with you. I'm talking about the fact that you're going there with an army. Yes. Each of you is going with an army. You know where that army is? That army is right here. This is the army that is behind you when you go on to your next level in life. Your army will be behind you to support you. They will always be there with you as you enter every portion of your life. There is no reason to ever be nervous because your army is behind you. Love them. Enjoy yourselves. Good luck next year. I'll see you next year.
Thank you, Councilman Hughes, for being here at Gunther. We really appreciate your words, and it's true, there's your army. So we're going to go to our song stage. Beautiful, beautiful, and you're singing as well. Very good. Thank you. Kevin Chamberlain, Nicholas Connors, Christina Lane, Kristen Lasker, Alyssa Lyman, Brittany Togo, Nicole Valentino, and Nicholas Valeriano. Dear families, dear graduates, esteemed faculty, staff members, Board of Education member, Mr. Perone, at this time I'd like to take a moment to introduce our 6th grade teachers to you. Mrs. Graber, Ms. Steinberg, myself, wait. I have all these things to say, but when I listen to the words that you said back at the welcome address today, and when you were practicing, and when I read the children's words about what's important about Gunther, which I would please encourage you to look at the board outside the cafeteria when you go for the reception, I realized that the students really do understand what's important in life, and they understand the values that you've given them and the support that you've given them because they were able to apply it through their words. So then I said, well, maybe words is not the way to really go. I mean, I have to use some words. And then I thought, well, the teachers always differentiate instruction, which means they have visuals, they modify the work, they use PowerPoint and so forth. So I said, you know what, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. So Mr. Mulvey is going to help me in just a moment, Mr. Mulvey, because he's the prop. Okay? And I have a prop. Because I wanted you to remember this day. And since I've become principal, this is the end of my 6th year, every year I said I should have a prop. Because can you remember your 6th grade graduation or 8th grade graduation? I don't know, you may remember feel about it, but if the children have memories the same way that I do, then I was thinking they probably won't remember my words. So maybe I have to show them what I hope for them. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what I hope for you, but first, before I do, I want to tell you, thank you for lifting us up. Thank you for sharing your unique selves with us. Thank you for sharing yourself with me personally as a principal. This school is just small enough and big enough at the same time for a principal to have relationships with students, for teachers like the ones who stand behind me and over on the side, faculty members and staff, to have true relationships with students. And they come down the hallway and teachers from different grade levels know them. And I watched you in 1st grade and I went back and looked at your pictures and I feel what a weight to bear to be principal and to try to impart with my faculty the best that we have to offer. And I'm hoping that we did that in one small way, but I thank you, all the families. Like Gary, you said, here's your posse, your people. These are the people that are going to be with you. But I thank you for joining us and helping us to do it. We're sincerely grateful. So at this time, graduates, here's what I have to say. You know what to do academically. There are some of you who have grown as far as you can grow academically here in elementary setting. There's some that have to go a little bit more. We all mature at different rates. But all of you have become people of good character. And you have a voice inside. And that voice in middle school and high school, that's where you need the voice. Because there's all people out there saying to you, come on over, Michael Stutz. Come on over, Brittany Taco. Come on, Toko. Come on over, Ciro Schiavo. Come on over, Brian Porricelli. You know what? We should go do this. And your voice, Frank Flynn, Michael Valentino, your voice, Christian Ragusa, you have to listen to that voice. Because that voice is not going to steer you wrong because you already know it. Our superintendent says to us all the time, you can teach, you can model just as you do, but when it comes to application, it takes that voice inside. You're going to be the leader. You're going to have to stand up. Remember? How many remember upstanders? Show me. How many? Right. You have to do it for yourself. All the support groups here will always be here at Gunther for you, but you're going to have to do that out there, Matt Berlin. Someone's going to come up to you one day and say, come on, Matt, it looks good, we should go over here. And that voice can say, I don't think so. So to listen to that voice and stand up, you have it, Felix Perez, correct? Noyani, you have that voice? Okay. So when you go to middle school and high school, listen. But here's my prop, and this is what I want you to remember. So Mr. Mulvey, please. Okay. Here it comes. You thought we just had a ladder hanging out the back. Okay. We have to turn it so the graduates can see it, and then let's read it. Okay. Let me look out there. Rowan Patel, what does the first Rome say?
All that stands.
All that stands. Robbie Camiso, second rung, please. Between the, let's see. Gianna Rath, third rung, please.
Graduate and the.
Graduate and the. And let me see, who would like to read the next one? Let's see what we have. We have just graduate and the. So many. Christina?
Top of the ladder.
Top of the ladder. So let's go back. All that stands between the graduate and the top of the ladder is, all together, is the graduate. Now, that seems like pretty fluffy advice to give, right? Because you're not the only one that's in between you and the top. You're going to be working with people your whole lives, right? And you've worked with one another here, so you're learning about how to solve conflicts, how to move forward. But here's my advice to you. Each of those pieces on the ladder is called a rung. Your job is to figure out all that stands between the graduate and the top of the ladder is the graduate. Your job is to figure out, well, what am I trying to get at that top? What is my goal up here? And then you set the plan for your goal. So if your goal is mathematics instruction, you have to figure out, like Michael Valentino told me yesterday, be organized, be responsible, right, Michael? And don't forget things. Seems pretty good, right, Mike? So you can do that. And then Carol told me, just do your best. Well, it takes those strategies, right, Carol McGough, to do your best. So in life, you're going to decide, how far am I going to climb? Who do I need to help me to get there? And you're going to have to be right sometimes. You might be on the second rung. Maybe you're on the second rung in math and ELA, but you're on the top in athletics. And you might set a goal, let me see if I can get here. You might be having difficulty with friends, and you might be down here on the bottom rung. Well, that's what I mean. Listen to the voice. Pick out those kids that are going to get you to the top of the ladder. But everyone's top is different, right? My top, I wanted to be principal of a school. So when I decided that, I left business, my first rung. My husband helped me. I went to school at night. And to me, doesn't mean it's the top of the world. It was the top for me. And I had to do my best. So when you pick, you might be on rung 2 somewhere and rung 3 somewhere else. That's okay. Because if you're listening to the voice and you're setting goals and you're trying your hardest and you make a mistake, you might slip down a little bit. But remember what we talked about? Mistakes are supposed to happen. So that you can reflect and figure out, well, how can I get back up there? Some people in life blame other people. Well, I really couldn't do that because this person got in my way. You know, I tried. I did my best. That may be the case. But what do you have to figure out then? What do you have to figure out? Who has an answer? What do you think? Someone that gets in your way or a group of people get in your way and keep you from your top? What do you have to figure out? Robbie. How to get there, a new route to get there. Right, Nikki? A new route to get to the top. You're welcome, Nikki. Thank you. So what I leave you with is this. You have an invisible ladder inside. You have an invisible voice inside you. Listen to the voice and picture the ladder. Think about what you want to accomplish. What kind of person do you want to be? How do you want people to view you in life? And what are your dreams and goals? And create the plan. Because you will be the only one to stand in the way of the plan. And hanging off the side of the rungs are mom and dad and aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers and everyone here and sisters, everyone here at Jacob Gunther School. Sometimes people think, you know what? I do a really good job. But it's those people that come in every single day and do the top of their job. They're the ones. Because you know what? They can look themselves in the mirror and say, I did the best I possibly could do. And when I don't, I'm just going to retool it and try again. And each top is different. So while one child may have alpha, another child may have an art. One child may have math, another child may have sports. And best of all, inside here, That's who defines you and how you treat people. Because when it's all over and all the papers are taken off and the ladder's put away, the thing that I'm going to remember about you and the thing everyone else is what kind of person. And I hope that at Jacob Gunther School, we gave you the academics to go and sail in middle school at Brand and Kellenberg, right? And I hope that your character, that you have the ability and the courage and the commitment to figure out how to use that best. So to my 2011 graduates, I wish you the top of your ladder always. Congratulations.
And thank you to Mrs. Graber, who went and with the custodians found the ladder and printed up my signs for me tonight.
This is the big moment now. We're going to begin our commencement awards. Mr. Cohn and I will stand in the middle. The teachers are going to announce names, so when your child comes up, please feel free to come up and take a picture. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I'm going to know how you're doing along the way, and I'm going to check up on you, Tyler, right, at Kellenberg, because I'm going to be traveling over with my children to Grand and Metham. So those of you who are going there, I'll be cheering you from afar, but in a different role as a parent, not okay. You're going to this way. Stand right here. Nicholas D. Greco. Okay.